Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Watkins Glen International here in the Sunday night Kickass series here in Sim500 competition. Alongside Mitch Rollo, I am Ben Kilcrease, and here we go. Mitch set to go racing. A little bit of left, a little bit of right hand turns tonight here at the road course Watkins Glen. It is race number 20, I do believe, of the series. Just a couple of races left to go into the chase. We'll get into the grid here momentarily, but first we'll take 10 seconds for station identification. So here we go, set to run you through tonight's starting lineup here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, and with a quick time of almost a second faster than the rest of the field, 0.8 to be exact. It'll be Daniel Falkingham leading us to the green flag, looking for win number 4 tonight here at Watkins Glen. Ian Hahn will be to his right side in the number 56. He qualifies second.
Starting third, going to be the 82 of Chad Cole, and to his outside, going to be Tommy Ryan, and the 99 going to be starting fourth.
To the left is how we'll do it here at Watkins Glen. Chad Coleman going to be in the 20, and to his right, it'll be Brian Macklin. They make up row number 3.
Byron Daly in the 06, and Chris Gaboo going to make up the 7th and 8th position.
It's going to be Glenn Campbell and John Mushton rounding out the top 10 as the rest of the field going to scroll across the bottom of your screen. Some notables there in the remaining positions. Everybody inside the top 10 qualified on time. From there on out, no times. That includes Justin Fuller, a 2-time winner this season. Going to have to start from row 6 after having some complications on his qualifying lap, so we'll keep an eye on that 51 and see if he can't make it through the field. It's 40 laps here, Mitch. Plenty of time to work yourself through the field and get where you need to be. But as a racer in the early stages of this race, what's the strategy heading into one like this?
Well, you got to be consistent at road courses. I think that's the biggest factor that we're going to see here tonight. Is there's going to be a lot of guys out here that aren't particularly used to running road courses, so they're going to be trying to get everything they can early on in this race. Going to be no cautions, so they're going to have time to kind of slowly, like you say, work their way up through the field. But they've got to be consistent and can't burn up those rear tires, or else they're going to be sliding all over this track.
Tire conservation going to be key tonight, and we'll now see if we can't dial up the pole sitter, the championship standings leader heading into tonight, Daniel Falkingham, Ben Kilcrease. Up in the booth, got a copy?
Gotcha.
Here we go, Dan, running left and right tonight here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. What's the strategy heading into this one tonight? You're a fast machine, no doubt, in that number 39. So what's the deal? You take it easy here early on, try and get into a rhythm, and just set your own pace out front?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the main thing is just to stay clean all night. I mean, we got a pretty long race ahead of us with a pit stop in between as well. So the main thing is try to keep the car clean all night and try to keep it on the road. Try not to go off in the grass. But feel confident about tonight. I love road course racing. I love Watkins Glen. So I feel like we can put on a good show tonight and maybe hopefully get ourselves a win if we don't do anything stupid.
All right, Dan, good luck, and go for win number 4 tonight.
Thanks, Ben.
There you have it, Daniel Falkingham rolling off from the pole tonight as the field works their way through the bus stop. We'll educate you on the track over the course of the night, but here we go, getting set to double up for the first restart, maybe the only restart. The cautions are disabled on the race control side of things, or on the service side of things, the simulator service. The only cautions tonight will be coming from race control, if there are any. I don't expect we will see any. So we are looking at 40 green flag laps coming up here at Watkins Glen. It's Falkingham and Ian Hahn. A great qualifying effort there by the driver number 56. That is row number 1. Remember, it's Watkins Glen tonight, and then 2 more shows. Michigan, Bristol, before the chase starts with the top 16 drivers in the season. Dan and I are on the bubble. He's got 12 points to the good in front of Randy Yoakum, 27 good in front of Lockhart, I do believe, who is 17th. I'm sorry, Chambliss, 18th. So here we go, pace car to pit road, and we are racing at Watkins Glen. Green flag in the air, and Daniel Falkingham already 5-6 car length lead as he leads us into turn number 1.
Leads us into turn number 1. The field behind him getting all stacked up, and there's contact back there and tire smoke. Not sure exactly what happened between those guys back there, but nonetheless they get it sorted out, and these guys heading up through the S's now.
Heading up through the S's, it looks like maybe Justin Fuller was one of those that got a little piece of Byron Daly there coming off of turn number 1. So some contact there. Turn 1, one of the trickiest parts of this racetrack, and we'll keep an eye on those drivers over the next handful of laps. Here comes Justin Fuller trying to work his way around the outside, or to the right side of Scott Simley through the bus stop, a little sideways there, getting into the carousel as they come up through the gears and head down the short chute into the left-hander. It's all Daniel Falkingham out in front of the field. Chad Cole works his way up to third around Ian Hahn, and then Tommy Ryan, Brian Macklin round out the top 5.
And actually Chad Cole going to be second right now as they work down around turn 7, I do believe, down the front straightaway and to the line. Going to be Falkingham first, Chad Cole second, and Ian Hahn going to round out the top 3 as they head down into turn number 1.
Already a 2.5 second lead for leader Daniel Falkingham, so we'll keep up with him and try and keep up with the action around the rest of the race course as well. Here comes Byron Daly getting around Chris Jabu. That would be for the 7th position. Makes it happen right before the S's, and right behind them, Justin Fuller on the bumper of Glenn Campbell trying to get some momentum built up through the S's down the long back straightaway, but couldn't quite get the run he needed up the hill. So we'll keep an eye on that battle. That would be for the 9th position, and he closes in on the bumper of the 44. And looking through the carousel, Fuller going to try and make up some more ground here through the field, as right there on the bumper of Campbell off of the carousel, up the track a little sideways action for the 51 here in the early parts of this race.
And I think one of the things that is hard to kind of face when you go to a road course for these guys is they're used to being on an oval where there's lots of room to pass, whether it's on the outside or the inside. There's always lots of room on the track, but it's just so much more difficult to work your way through a field of cars, especially the caliber that these drivers are, at a road course where there's not as much room to pass as he tries to go underneath 44. Glenn Campbell can't do at that time into turn number 1, and that's going to be the theme of the whole week. I mean, the whole night is these guys going to be having a hard time passing as they head up through the S's. Fuller right on the bumper of the 44 of Campbell.
Right on the bumper indeed. Both those drivers were able to get around Chris Jabu there on the front stretch, but now Fuller trying to work his way around Glenn Campbell. Looks to the inside, heading into the bus stop. Who's going to outbrake who? They're going to go side by side to the first part of it. Give it to Fuller, albeit throwing up a little bit of grass onto the circuit. A little bit sideways there out of the bus stop and through the carousel now. Fuller move him up and into the 8th position. So Justin Fuller from 12th up to 8th here on lap number 3.
Falkingham now has a 3.4 second lead, Ben. You see the difference on the screen right there out the back of Falkingham. So he is just putting it to him early on here in Watkins Glen. But battle for second maybe heating up here as Ian Hahn right behind Chad Cole. And those guys going to be battling for second here before too long.
Keep an eye on that battle as Hahn closes in turn 1, gets up close to the bumper of that 82 off of 1 and up through the S's they go. Hahn qualified second, but slipped a little bit of the grip down in 1 and 2, or down in 1 rather, on the initial start, and that allowed Chad Cole to get up and by that number 56 machine. But now Hahn looking to go back on offense, trying to take that position away. He closes in on the bus stop there. Real good run for the 56. That time by through the chicane, and Hahn's got a run heading into the carousel.
Got to run into the carousel, but Chad Cole off of the corner. Maybe looks like he's going to pull him just a little bit, as no, they stay pretty even there, going down between the carousel and turn 6 as Chad Cole hanging on to second for now, and Falkingham still pulling away from this field out there in first place.
Falkingham just in a zip code of his own tonight here at Watkins Glen as we continue to pace around the speedway full speed, working lap number 5 of 40, almost 1/4 of the way through this race, or working right now on the 1/8 mark of this race. So these guys already ticking off some laps and getting into a nice rhythm here at Watkins Glen, and that's what road course racing is all about. If you can get into a good rhythm and really work your way through the field, kind of like what Justin Fuller is doing. Had the mishap on lap 1, but since then he's been picking them off left and right and has now caught the bumper of Byron Daly and Chad Coleman. That'll be for positions 6 and 7, and Fuller had to put the brakes on. He almost got into the bumper of Daly there as they all checked up through the bus stop.
And got into the grass on the exit of the bus stop, so Fuller was going guns blazing into the bus stop there, taking no prisoners as they head down a straightaway here, and Byron Daly just, you know, kind of riding behind Chad Coleman at number 20 right now, but you know, I think, you know, Fuller and Byron Daly may be faster than that 20s. Here comes Fuller underneath the 06 of Daly, but Daly gonna chop him off and get back in front of Fuller as they head down towards the start-finish line.
Not the best passing opportunity there into the final turn before the front straightaway, so Fuller has to back off and try again. That's the only thing here at Watkins Glen, Mitch. Not a lot of passing spots around this race course. It's so tight through a good portion of it.
Yeah, I think the best opportunities to pass here at Watkins Glen is probably off of the carousel down that straightaway between the carousel and turn, I believe 6 it is. And you know, that's probably the best because you can get such a good run off of that carousel if you hit it right. And the long straightaway after, of course, you can get underneath them without dive bombing them into the corner.
So we keep an eye on that battle for 7th. Here comes Fuller in the carousel. Up the track goes Daly, and Fuller gets by. So bump Fuller up to P7 as Byron Daly looking for win number 9 on the season. Just not sure if today is going to be his day here at Watkins Glen. I know for a fact he's not going to be able to take 2 tires and get away with it here.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be the case. And I just want to mention right now, Buckingham's on an absolute tear. He has 5 seconds. 5 seconds in front of second place. That's almost a second a lap, because as we're working lap 7 here. So that is absolutely ridiculous. It's insane on Buckingham's part to be that fast. You know, the rest of these guys must be scratching their head saying, what the heck is he doing to make up all that ground?
Absolutely. A blistering pace out in front of the field, and one battle I'm starting to watch that's really heating up, or it has been, you know, going on for a couple laps now, that battle for Senka, but now throw Tommy Ryan in the mix in the 99. So maybe Chad Cole sort of holding up Ian Hahn and allowing Ryan to catch the bumper of these guys as we go on board with Tommy Ryan as they head off the carousel. You see Hahn dip the right side, their left side's over onto the grass there. And here we go. Into the left-hander before the final right-hander onto the front stretch. Hahn closes up on Cole. These guys starting to get really tightly packed up here in this battle for second. Good race up here for the runner-up spot.
Good race for the runner-up spot here, and definitely heating up, as you said, as Hahn right on the bumper of Chad Cole going into turn number 1, and Cole got to be sweating bullets seeing him behind him. You know, Hahn definitely put some good laps down in practice and a nice qualifying lap, so I think was just a little bit faster than Chad Cole in qualifying, so it's going to be interesting to see how long Cole can hold him off. But like we said, it's just so hard to pass here. The little opportunities, you got to hit the right spot. As here he comes, going to try and dive low on Chad Cole into the bus stop. As oh man, that was almost bad.
Got it close there, did Hahn, maybe trying to force Cole into a mistake, but while doing that, it kind of upset Hahn's car all the way through the bus stop, and he didn't get the exit that he needed, and Cole was able to pull out a couple of car lengths there and onto the short chute. So we watched that battle. We also got to go back and pick up the battle for the 6th position because Justin Fuller is all over the bumper of Chad Colvin, and Byron Daly is still there in the mix as well on the bumper of Fuller. Here comes Fuller, last time in 1, tried to get the run down the front straightaway, couldn't do it there, and we'll see if he gets the run out of the final corner here. Not going to be close enough, I think, to make a move. Is going to be Fuller trying to work his way through the field and get up to the 6th spot. He'll have to ride behind Coleman for at least a couple more turns.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, he's got to be so careful with where you choose to make your moves on this track, because if you make it in the wrong place, such as you know, the bus stop is probably the worst possible place to pass, but you always see guys trying to dive it in there on the entry of the bus stop, and I always just kind of shake my head like, you know, that's the one place that you really should not even attempt to make a pass here on this track. So as Fuller, look at him close up on the 20 that time as they go into the carousel. Underneath the 20 goes the 51 of Fuller, and he's going to probably get the move done here off the carousel.
Clears him there, slides up in front of him, and move Fuller up to P6, and he now has his sights set on Brian Macklin. But, you know, maybe Fuller, according to practice times, would have been the closest competitor to maybe having a run at Falkingham, but starting 12th and having to work your way through the field, I don't think he's even got a shot at it now, as we're right at the 1/4 mark of this race.
No, I mean, he's 12.5 seconds back of Daniel Falkingham now in 6th place, which is absolutely
Whoa,
insane.
trouble! Brian Macklin around and into the tire barrier from 5th.
Wow, and we'll get a replay of that up, and he gets in the grass going down the front straightaway, but I don't think that really affected him. He just got in there too hot, wheel hopped, and ended up going around as the 30 of Brian Macklin, and bang, goes into the tire barriers there at the end of the straightaway, and Macklin has pulled it behind the wall after that.
That he has. So that's a big moment there. Top 5 for Brian Macklin heading or looking into this race, and there's more contact behind. Brian Chambliss has to avoid the bus stop there because Nick Timms went a little bit too heavy on entrance there in the 17, so a close call there. No contact, but close call as racing heating up around the middle of the pack back here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Wow, this is getting exciting.
Getting exciting, and these guys, you know, making a lot of aggressive moves that really aren't necessary this early on in the race here, I think. But nonetheless, still green, obviously, as like you mentioned in pre-race, Ben, no caution's going to be flying here today at Watkins Glen due to the cautions being turned off. So it's going to make for a quick race, but fun race.
Now, the only reason I made Macklin off the track a big deal, it was certainly a big deal from 5th, but even bigger in the championship standings, he is only 13 points ahead of P16. So a couple of bad races. If he doesn't do good here at Michigan and Bristol over the next 2 weeks, Macklin may fall outside the top 16 and not make the chase.
Yeah, and that would be unfortunate. I mean, Brian's been one of those guys that's just been so consistent, you know, week in, week out at Sim500, just always clicking off top 5s, top 10s, and you know, a lot of second place finishes. And if he was to not make the chase, that would be definitely unfortunate for him, because he's definitely had a good season to this point.
That's kind of leave me scratching my head as why he pulled it behind the wall. Very minimal damage on that 30 machine, but behind the wall it sits, and he is not coming back out onto the racetrack. So he is at best going to finish, looks like 24th tonight here at Watkins Glen, and 1 point per position. You know, if Chambliss finishes up there, if Yoakum finishes up there, I mean, these are guys that are right at that cut line. Dan Denayer, Robert Gillenwater, these guys could pick up some positions. Denayer not here tonight, but Gillenwater is. So, you know, these guys looking at maybe easing up the standings board and maybe trying to lock themselves into the playoffs here in the Kickass series. So glad you've tuned in with us right here live on the Sim Racing Network. It is the Daniel Falkingham show tonight here at Watkins Glen as he leads from early on here, and we have had another problem that must have missed. Ian Hahn has dropped way back to the 7th position as I try and find out where he kind of had his mistake. It must have been while we were focusing on the daily machine. He was back a couple laps ago off of turn number 1, just got a little sideways and down into the Armco barrier. So Hahn having his share of mistakes as well, as we are past the quarter mark here, closing in on halfway at Watkins Glen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You won't miss anything. We'll go corner to corner so you can see all the action as Justin Fuller has made it into the top 5, looking for a top 3 over the next couple of laps. We'll be back from Watkins Glen.
How to make a Kickass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kickass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kickass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kickass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Service has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why TransService has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International, as got a small battle on a racetrack for the 6th position. Ian Hahn trying to work his way back around some cars, and he's caught the bumper of Byron Daly. They were a little bit closer earlier, or just a couple turns ago rather, and Hahn slipped up, and well, now back on the run to try and chase down Byron Daly. Just in front of them, Chad Coleman in the 20. He is sitting 5th. Then it's Justin Fuller and Tommy Ryan and Chad Cole both doing a little bit of landscaping through the bus stop as battle for P2 starting to rage on here through the carousel as we close in just 4 laps away from halfway.
And Chad Cole still hanging on to the 2nd spot here. As I talked to him before the race, he wasn't feeling too comfortable with the car, but doing a really nice job here so far, as he may be 13 seconds back from Daniel Falkingham, but so is everybody else. So Chad Cole doing a nice job here early on, lap 17 of 40.
Cole doing a spectacular job in that runner-up spot, holding his own, and like you said, he may be 13 seconds back, but he's the closest to the leader. So there you go. There's kind of a win to that and kind of a loss to that as well. But I tell you what, Daniel Falkingham is Take a look at him in that 39. Just the car doesn't look out of control. It looks smooth. Just so fast is Daniel Falkingham, and he is doing a spectacular job out in front of this field. I've been watching him for a couple laps here and there all around the racetrack, and I have not seen that 39 make one mistake yet. Hasn't dropped the tires, hasn't went in a little bit too deep, hasn't locked the tires up at all. Just smooth and calm out in front of this field. Doesn't look very fast because he's so smooth. Usually if you're real fast at Watkins Glen, the back end starts to slide out a little bit here and there. You can tell that somebody's driving the car real fast. Falkingham's car doesn't have that look to it, but man, oh man, well you can tell by the telemetry that he is certainly pretty quick.
As we go on board with Falkingham now, going up through the S's here, he's just, like you say, just so smooth on that wheel, not slack. Well, actually, as I say that, he gets a little bit loose and has to saw on the wheel a little bit, but that's one thing that I've had my fair share of success at Watkins Glen over the last few years in the Cup car, and it's the weirdest thing because you don't feel like you're going fast, but the smoother you are, the faster you go, which is definitely what Falkingham is proving here tonight in the Xfinity Series. But I tell you one thing, Ben, he's got me worried for tomorrow night, whether I can pull it off for a third straight year.
Worried indeed. You'll be able to catch that on the OSRN with Joe White and John Weston bringing you the call there. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for the Trans Service Cup Series here in Sim500 competition. Tonight, though, the Kickass Series is being led by a Kickass dominating performance by Falkingham. Gets a little bit of loose there out of the final corner, but nonetheless, out in front by over 14 seconds is Daniel Falkingham in 19 laps. That is just astonishing, and he's already working his way into lap traffic there. John Wilco will be the first to fall victim and fall one lap down, and then Brian Wertman just a couple of car lengths in front of Wilco there. So Falkingham has caught the tail end of the field and already starting to put cars a lap down.
At this point, at this rate, if he keeps going this speed the whole race, then although he's going to lap all the way up to about 8th place. So this is just an epic performance that he is putting on here tonight.
Falkingham, I don't recall the last time I've seen a dominating performance like this, whether it be on the road course side of things or on the oval. I mean, he is just putting a spanking on the rest of the field, and just almost speechless the amount of success he is having here tonight as he closes in on the halfway point of this race, half down, half to go, and just continuing to pull away.
Continuing to pull away, and like you say, like 14.1 seconds at time at the line, Ben. It's just insane. It's insane to have that much more speed than the rest of the field. All these guys, like I said, it's got to be frustrating because they got to be thinking, what else can I do to make my car go faster? And Daniel Falkingham also has all those secrets, but these guys wishing they had those secrets.
Absolutely. A couple drivers heading down for some pit stops around the middle of the pack. They're just trying to split the race in two. Here it comes down around the halfway point. So, whoa! Brian Wertman out of shape entering the bus stop there. Looked up and saw him all sorts of sideways. Tags the cone there. Did Wertman a small moment there for the driver to 35.
We get the replay for that up. Yeah, Wertman just got real loose going in there and decided to go straight through there and avoid making contact with anyone. So good job on Wertman's part. Just keep that car clean and keep it out of the way.
These cars, first couple laps, they're pretty comfortable to drive, but after that, these things turn into a handful.
They do, and definitely that's the biggest thing with Watkins Glen and any road course really is you want to make sure you save those tires. And here comes Chad Cole to pit road, and Falkingham still out on the track, but Chad Cole down the pit lane and Tommy Ryan right behind him as well. So obviously at this point, strategy kind of out the window as far as being able to run down Falkingham. Unless Falkingham crashes, I don't think anyone is going to be able to get to him today.
I think Falkingham could spin a couple times and and still hold on to the lead. He's got himself that big of a bubble, and you don't want to spin when you're leading this thing, but if you do, you slip a little bit of grip one corner and happen to end up in the grass or out on the pavement. You have a little bit to fall back on.
Yeah, that's obviously the upside to being so far out in front. Actually, I don't really think there's any downside, to be honest with you, but maybe rest on your laurels a little bit, maybe get complacent, but nonetheless, Falkingham still putting on a show, 20 seconds in front of Justin Fuller, who has not pitted yet, as well as Coleman, Daly, Hahn, Simley, still all have not pitted, so... sorry, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, speaking of Hahn, he's in a fierce battle with Byron Daly. These guys just crossed each other up there. Hahn gets by. Daly tried to cross him up, and now Daly, just as we were about to get a battle going, they're going to dip off and into pit road. So Daly heads down to the service of his crew, and not a lot to talk about here in pit stops for the road side of things. Justin Fuller is down. He just slid through his box a little bit. It'll cost you a little time here on at Watkins Glen, but much different than asphalt oval racing. Mitch, is here at Watkins Glen. If you lose a couple tenths, it's not a lot. You can gain that back if you're fast enough to, as opposed to on the oval side, dealing with pitting under green or even under caution. You could lose a couple spots, a couple tenths on the pit side, a couple spots on the oval side.
Absolutely, and Falkingham's still on the track to this point as he works to 18 to go here. This time, that time at the line, as works down into turn number 1. Falkingham obviously not really too worried about guys running him down on fresh tires, so he's just going to take his time, make sure he has the freshest tires on the track right down to the end of his run, so there's absolutely no way that anyone can try and pull any strategy or anything to try and run that 39 car down.
Past the halfway point here at Watkins Glen, and Falkingham continuing to lead. Chris Javu right behind him on fresher tires, certainly faster than Falkingham, it seems, and even Gillenwater and Chambliss have been able to close in on the 39 over the past couple of laps. So these guys faster than the leader on new tires, so you got to start to wonder when Falkingham going to make that swing down pit side.
I'd imagine that to be in the next couple of laps here, Ben. Actually, I bet it's going to be this time, but he's probably going to make a liar to me right here and just go right by the entrance to pit road as he works down to the final turn. And yeah, here he comes. 39 coming to pit road, this time by lap 23.40.
So from the lead, Falkingham down pit road. Don't have to worry about him giving up the lead to anybody, because he has certainly got that big of a threshold out in front of the rest of the field. Falkingham working his way down pit road. I mean, he could have a glass of ice cold lemonade right now if he wanted to and still hold on to the lead as he's in his pit stall nice and smooth, right behind the pace car. Their number 1 spot on pit road after grabbing the pole by 0.8 of a second. It's 4 tires and fuel for the driver of that number 39 machine, and his final pit stop, first and final pit stop of the night, done and complete, and comes out just in front of a lap machine. Dan Denaire said he wasn't here tonight. I apologize. He is on the racetrack, so Denaire trying to gain some ground here. You can see the right side of that machine is used up pretty good. He's had some contact, but still trying to gain a couple points on Brian Macklin, who fell out 13 laps ago.
Absolutely, and Chad Cole 8.2 seconds back in the lead now, but that's going to quickly climb, as I mean, Falkingham was about a second faster than these guys on even tires. Now Chad Cole and Tommy Ryan have about 3 or 4 lap older tires than Falkingham, which means, who knows how much faster Falkingham is going to be than them now. It's going to be interesting to see that.
Certainly is. Going to be fun to watch this battle too for the runner-up spot. It's between Chad Cole and Tommy Ryan. We'll watch that on Corner to Corner as we take another commercial break right here on the Sim Racing Network. Just a little bit past the halfway point and closing in on 10 to go from Watkins Glen. We'll be back right after this.
How to make a Kickass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or two of Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kickass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kickass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kickass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got him for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Trans-service has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why Trans-service has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Over 11 seconds, the distance between first and second place here at Watkins Glen. Daniel Falkingham dominating on the road course tonight in the Kickass Series. Chad Cole runs second, trying to fend off Tommy Ryan for the final 13 laps of this one. Stalking them slowly but surely, starting to grow into the picture. They'll catch him one lap and then fall back a little bit the next, but it's Justin Fuller in fourth. Byron Daly rounds out the top 5. He's gotten around Chad Coleman. Ian Hahn, a little bit behind those guys in the 7th position. And it's Doy Woods, about a half the front straightaway lengths back in 8th. 9th is Glenn Campbell, rounding out the top 10. Chris Jabu. Then it's Gillenwater, Chambliss, Timms, Simley, Vincent. That's the top 15. Joey Jatina, Randy Yoakum, Jeff Sharp finished the cars on lead lap. Dan Denayer, Jeff Ryan, John Wilco, Brian Wortman, all 1 lap down. John Mushin 4 laps down in 23rd, and Brian Macklin sits behind the wall. As that's the rundown through the field here at Watkins Glen as Daniel Falkingham comes across the line there. 12 laps to go for the driver of the 39, who has just had an outstanding performance out in front of this field, continuing to open up his lead lap by lap.
About to go, and 12 seconds in the lead in front of Chad Cole. is the 39 of Daniel Falkingham. And like you say, just dominate is it wouldn't even be a strong enough word to use for this performance here tonight by Daniel Falkingham. He's done everything right. He's been smooth on the wheel. He's saved his tires while also being absurdly fast, and it's definitely showing here. Obviously, 12.5 seconds ahead of Chad Cole now, and that number continues to climb.
But it does. He closes in on Jeff Sharp, put him a lap down. He has lapped up to the 18th position so far here at Watkins Glen, and I don't think he's going to slow down over the next couple laps either, as these guys starting to get to a little battle up here around the 12th and 11th position. Gillenwater holding on to that spot for now, but Chambliss and Simbly getting closer and closer to one another, and don't throw Nick Timms out of the equation either. He's back there if anybody makes a mistake.
And some good racing going on back here between these guys. About the only battle really on the track right now is right here, like you say, for about 11th place. Is Gillenwater now pulling away a little bit more, but Chambliss and Simley in a heated battle right now, going through the carousel. Chambliss out in front of Simley right now, but Simley stalking him as they head into turn number 6.
That he is, and Chambliss, one of those drivers that needs to finish every position he can, higher than what he is right now. So he is trying to fend off Simley as much as possible. Chambliss trying to make it into the playoffs. It gets a little loose there out of the final corner onto the front straightaway. Simley starts to look to the inside, trying to maybe make the move. Simley safe in chase, but Chambliss, one of those drivers on the outside looking in, at least for the time being.
As Simley took a peek down there, heading to turn number 2 up into the S's, but thought better of making it too wide at that spot in the track. But he is just stalking that number 25 of Brian Chambliss as they head down the straightaway here into the bus stop. And Simley, I think a little bit faster than Chambliss, but Chambliss doing a really nice job of just holding his own, holding that number 12 off, and doing everything he needs to do to keep that position. And like you said, in order to make up some points and try and make his way into that chase.
Simley with 8 top 10s and 2 top 5s this season, trying to maybe get one more top 10 tonight. He's got a couple more cars, though, to get around. Chambliss being the first of one of those, and they're coming up on 10 to go right here in this battle. Leader Daniel Falkingham already taking 10 to go, and Chambliss in the grass.
Chambliss in the grass, and around goes Simley like he's standing still, and that's that mistake that I was just talking about that you cannot make in this position. That could be the difference maker whether he makes the chase or not this season. So every position counts at this point in the season, especially for someone who's as close to the bubble as Chambliss is.
And now Nick Timms starting to close in on that battle, or on Chambliss as well. That'd be another spot on the racetrack, being the 13th position if he surrenders that to the 17th. So we'll keep an eye on those two drivers. Gillenwater closing in on Chris Jabu for the 10th position. Robert Gillenwater trying to make the top 10 here at Watkins Glen.
And Gillenwater having a nice run tonight here in that number 4 Chevy Camaro as he works down into the carousel. Right behind that number 10 is Chris Jabu. So right outside the top 10 for Gillenwater here tonight, doing a really bang up job with that JDRF machine.
That he is. So keeping an eye on that. Not missing much in the battle for second that we was watching under our commercial break there. Those two guys still tail to nose, just kind of riding around the Watkins Glen. I don't know when Tommy Ryan wants to make the move, or if Chad Cole is just quite good enough to hold him off. A little slip of the grip there, though. Cole up the racetrack. Ryan almost ending the bumper.
That got interesting there for a sec, because Chad Cole just got tight out of the bus stop right there. Couldn't get down, and Tommy Ryan tried to stick his nose in there, but Chad Cole says, "Nuh-uh, not going to get it that easy," and pulls right down in front of the 99 Tommy Ryan. But these guys just a good, clean, back and forth battle here for the second spot. Working lap 33 of 40, so 8 laps to go. Getting down to crunch time for these guys.
That it is such good racing going on throughout the field. Hard to keep an eye on all of it at one time as Falkingham continues to lead. He's out in front. Cole holding off Tommy Ryan for second. Fuller sits fourth. Byron Daly Rounding out the top 5, and it's Chad Coleman in 6th, and top 6 cars, all Camaro. You have to go back to Ian Hahn in 7th to find the first Toyota in the group. Doy Woods supporting Ford in 8th.
And that's interesting. I don't know. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that happened, but definitely interesting that the top 6 are Chevys.
And it is closing in on the 5 to go mark here at Watkins Glen, and it is still just Daniel Falkingham clicking that margin of victory, what it's going to be at the end of the night if he holds on to this thing a little bit higher and higher. It's been a weekend of dominating performances around the racing community. I know almost every race I've checked in on, the leader has won by quite a few seconds. I know the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race was a little close today, but a lot of short track events have just been pure dominance over the past couple days, and Falkingham kind of going along with that memo here tonight at Watkins Glen as well, just putting on a clinic here. Everybody's going to want to go to the Daniel Falkingham Watkins Glen School of Driving after tonight.
I don't know if it exists right now, but it's going to after tonight. As I think lots of questions going to be asked to Daniel Falkingham before tomorrow night's Monday night or Cup Series race here in Sim500. Definitely going to be a lot of guys asking him what the heck he was doing out here tonight.
So you're saying he's going to have a lot of friends prior to the green tomorrow?
I would say so. I mean, Daniel usually has lots of friends, but now he's going to have a lot more friends, I think, before tomorrow night.
Tommy Ryan slipped up big time coming through the bus stop, I do believe. Opened up the gap back to Chad Cole, so Cole has a little bit of breathing room, and it was off of turn 1 for Tommy Ryan. Actually got a little piece of the grass there and did a great job not to overcorrect and into the wall, but Cole going to hold on to 2nd for now. Tommy Ryan sitting 3rd. Justin Fuller, it's just not going to be close enough to close in on these guys. They did a great job coming from 12th to 4th, but that car has been used up in every form of the word.
It has been. Up until this point, there is now 15 cars a lap down, and let me tell you, Falkingham still putting on quite the show here, as he is now just behind Dwayne Vincent by a few seconds, and soon going to put him a lap down as well. So that's going to be 14 cars a lap down once if Falkingham reaches Vincent by the end of the race, and that's just astounding.
Be 14 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. This whole thing where Daniel Falkingham is leading by like a bazillion seconds is kind of throwing me for a loop here.
10 cars, 1 lap or more down here
Absolutely.
at Watkins Glen, trying to advance that as he comes up through the S's. Let's go corner to corner one final time, and maybe we can get an onboard shot with Daniel Falkingham around the Watkins Glen International. We'll take you to the checkered flag when we come back. You're watching the Kickass Xfinity Series live here in Sim500 competition.
How to make a Kickass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kickass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kickass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kickass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
3 to go for leader Daniel Falkingham here at the line at Watkins Glen, and he is just knocking these cars off left and right, putting them a lap down. Dwayne Vincent, the last to go 1 lap down, putting 10 cars 1 or more laps down here at Watkins Glen. That is an outstanding performance here as he just continues to open up that lead. It is now almost 20 seconds.
Almost 20 seconds. Let me tell you, that is the definition of dominance here at Watkins Glen. To be able to get out in front of everybody by 20 seconds is just absolutely incredible. It is insane, and definitely got like we said earlier, he's gonna have a lot of questions on his inbox here tonight in iRacing.
Absolutely, and he's got 5 cars lined up right in front of him, 2 laps to try and lap them all. And as a leader, if you've got nothing else to do in the race, you got 20 seconds back to the nearest guy behind you. What do you do, Mitch? You just kind of ride it out for these final couple laps? You just say, oh, well, I'll try and have some fun and go lap these guys.
Take your time, because let me tell you, he's going to be one unhappy camper if something happens and he goes head on into one of those Armco berries and blows that motor. After a night of dominance like this with 2 laps to go, by the way, if something happens to him now, he is going to be absolutely deflated and destroyed over, what obviously should be his win. So we'll see what happens here as they go side by side in front of him.
Right in front of him, and that's Brian Chambliss fighting for something in this race as well. Maybe a spot in the playoffs, and he misses the bus stop.
And, I almost think he did that on purpose just to let the leader go. And what a great move by Brian Chambliss. He probably should have just stuck with it. I'm sure Falkingham would have been fine with them being side by side, but nonetheless, he does pull over for the leader right there. And Nick Tim's now side by side with the leader of the race. Going to pull in behind Falkingham. So now those two a lap down here.
12 cars, 1 lap or more down here in Watkins Glen. And here comes Daniel Falkingham off the final corner. He'll get the white flag. Final lap, 1 more time around. Watkins Glen International, about 2.5 miles for Daniel Falkingham, separating him in one of the most dominant performances we've seen in a while here in Sim500.
And still 20 seconds back to Chad Cole in second place. 21 seconds actually, as he works down to the S's. And man, I mean, you just can't get more dominating than that. I'm pretty sure Falkingham led every single lap here tonight at Watkins Glen, and barring a complete disaster here as he heads down the back straightaway into the bus stop, he's gonna lead every single lap here tonight and win the race.
That he is. Wow, it's just an unbelievable performance from Falkingham. Couple cars in front of him. He's got to survive just 3 more turns here as he heads to the carousel for the final time. Finish line almost in sight. It has been a dominant performance. He is going to win by almost a third of the racetrack. Forget Watkins Glen International. Let's rename it Daniel Falkingham International tonight here in the Kickass series. He comes off of the final corner, and Daniel Falkingham, win number 4 this season, comes on the road course.
And I don't even have any words for that performance because that was just complete domination. I mean, for a guy to be that dominant is just absolutely incredible. And he just put on a clinic tonight.
Well, we had some time to catch our breath, and here comes Chad Cole, who will come home second tonight. He crosses the line there, and as does Tommy Ryan now to round out the top 3. My, oh my, what a performance by Daniel Falkingham. The dominant performance of the year, no doubt. And like I said, in recent memory, I cannot recall anybody just going out and just wiping the field like they did tonight.
No, and that was just, I mean, got to be quite the feeling for Daniel Falkingham to be that far out in front of the field and that far in front of these guys and just dominating as much as he did. It's one thing to win by 10 seconds at a road course or even 15 seconds, but he won by 22 seconds, man. 22 seconds. That is absolutely incredible.
Foggingham making a slow final lap here around the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Chad Cole going to come up and congratulate the driver of that number 39. We're going to head to a commercial break, and you'll catch his celebrations on the front straightaway on corner to corner. When we come back, we'll talk to the dominating performer, Daniel Falkingham, and the rest of the podium finishers. Right after this, you're watching the Kickass Beef Jerky series here in Sim500 competition as Falkingham going to burn him down on the front straightaway. Wins by 22 seconds.
How to make a Kickass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or two of Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kickass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kickass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kickass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kickass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Trans-service has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why Trans-service has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen, where it's now time for the post-race show. And Mitch Rollo is caught up with the driver who finished third tonight and got to see Daniel Falkingham for, well, at least the first couple of laps. And after that, it was all about trying to get to the runner-up position, but a nice podium tonight for the 99.
Yeah, I'm down here with Tommy Ryan, down here on pit road. And Tommy, it was a really good race here for you tonight. You finished third. So a nice finish, but Daniel Falkingham running away with us. But talk to me about your race.
Yeah, Daniel, he had us covered, man, for sure. I was content running behind, freaking Chad, and I was really going to try there because, I mean, it's me and him started racing, and Fuller probably would have come up there, and then I'd leave and lose more position. So I was going to just try to maintain the gap with about 5 to go, and then go after it. And I had a mistake down there at the bottom of the S's, and tried to get back to him, and then we ran into some lap traffic, and third place is better. I was hoping for honestly a top 10. I not consider myself a road guy. I love road course racing, sports car racing, NASCAR, whatever. But it was a good night, man. I was just keeping four wheels on the asphalt, man, is the biggest thing, and don't tear anything up.
Absolutely, and definitely a great run here for you tonight, Tommy. Is there anyone to thank for your third place finish?
Yeah, man. Northern Tool and Equipment, Coastal Safety Auditors, Patriot Fire, DJ Beverly, and my team, man. We try to do some strategy stuff from time to time. Thanks for Joey for putting up with us, and moving on to the next.
Tommy, thanks for your time here tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
And
but
that was our third place finisher, Tommy Ryan. I'm going to go chase down the second place finisher, Chad Cole, to see if I can find him down here.
absolutely, Chad Cole started third and, well, ran second for a good portion. I want to say 39 of the 40 laps for the number 82. So we'll see if Mitch Rollo's caught up with the big cat himself. Maybe he learned something for tomorrow, or maybe he wasn't even close enough to see what he was doing. We'll find out.
Yeah, caught up with Chad Cole down here. Chad, I know you didn't see a whole ton out your windshield of Daniel Falkingham because he was in front of the field by like 10 plus seconds a lot of the night. But talk to me about your run and how you felt out there in that number 82.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Ben and I were talking about the World of Outlaws race last night. How Sheldon Haudenschild put it to him, and that's about what Daniel did to us tonight. That was a good old fashioned behind the shed shellacking right there. I didn't see a whole lot of them, so I'm not going to be able to learn a whole lot for tomorrow. But it was a pretty challenging track actually. Some spots were pretty loose, and I was thinking about doing some fuel strategy, maybe keeping a little bit light on fuel to help tighten it up a little bit. But the ashes were kind of tight, and you really need to go momentum through there and carry it down to the bus stop. So I kind of kept it the same, and some corners it kind of burned me. I feel like my brake bias is a little bit lower than some other guys, and I wasn't able to get it in as deep into the corner, especially one and the bus stop too. But everywhere else felt pretty good. It's a pretty good night. I'll take the second anytime we're at a road course.
Yeah, I was talking to you pre-race, Chad. You didn't seem too confident, in practice and in qualifying. What changed for that? What changed that mindset in the race? Did you kind of just find something once the race started, or was it in practice at the end of practice that you?
I think just a lot of track position. A lot of guys didn't get a qualifying lap because you only get one lap at the road courses. So we have Fuller and Daly coming from the rear, and track position is so crucial. Not having to deal with those guys makes life a whole lot easier, and just able to keep it out front all night. Tommy and I had a pretty good battle for a while there. He could have easily sent me a couple of times. I chopped his nose in the carousel, and I think maybe entering the bus stop once, twice as well. But it was a fun night. I hope we can keep racing like that. That's a pretty entertaining race for my seat.
Absolutely. And Chad Cole, a great run for you here tonight. Started third, finished second. Is there anyone you want to thank here for your second place run tonight?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Kickass Beef Jerky for sponsoring the Sunday series. I don't get to run a whole lot of them, but for being a road course, that is one of the better races I've had recently. And I got to give a shout out to the fine folks at SRN for the work you do for putting the broadcasts on, and the lap cars too. Tonight, I didn't see a whole lot of them, but they're really generous and laying over on the straightaways, which helps tremendously. I think Tommy might have gotten caught by a couple of them, and that really helped me out there. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah, we appreciate your time. We appreciate kind words, and congratulations once again on your second place finish here tonight. And I believe Ben Kilcreek has caught up with Daniel Falkingham, who, well, let's just say put an absolute whooping on this field here tonight at Watkins.
The word Chad Cole used was a shellacking. So we'll stick with shellacking with the to describe the performance here tonight. Another word would be dominance, and just like the lead all race long, the championship lead also going to extend tonight as well. Win number 4 here, Daniel, comes at Watkins Glen. And not a whole lot to talk about tonight. You didn't have to battle anybody. You didn't have to worry about rebounding from any mistakes. It was just smooth sailing. 21.5 seconds there at the start-finish line to win over Chad Cole. How's it feel to be so fast and so dominant here at Watkins Glen?
It's always fun, and it's always pretty good when you're always fast. But I mean, I could definitely feel for all these guys tonight. I mean, honestly, even though I was really fast tonight, I just honestly did not like the setup at all. It was just super tight, and I was surprised. I was really surprised we had really cold conditions for this race too. I thought it'd be honestly hot, to be honest with you. So I feel like that would have evened the field a little bit more, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just kind of shocked myself. But I mean, I don't know. It's just my love of road course racing and just me wanting to get better at road course racing too, and just my love for Watkins Glen too. So overall, pretty good race. I mean, I had a mistake here and there, but really nothing that really cost me anything.
Yeah, we couldn't. Oh, we watched you for a couple laps there, and we saw a little slip of the grip here and there. But other than that, it was, we talked about how it looked like you were going slow, but you were just so smooth that you were so fast, and it was I mean, you left us both speechless. What a great show. Not a whole lot to talk about, so we'll just move on to tomorrow night. Same place, different cars, and I know winning here tonight's got to be a big boost of momentum for tomorrow in the Cup Series as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I know with the Cup cars tomorrow night, we're just going to be a lot faster. There's so much downforce, and we'll have a lot more power back too, so that should help a lot. And main thing we're just gonna be fighting tomorrow night is dirty air as well. Just with the big rear spoiler on the back of the cars, just creating so much dirty air. So that'll be tough to deal with. So track position will absolutely be key tomorrow night. So hopefully we can try to pull off another road course win over there like we did at Sonoma. But I feel like I'm gonna have to really earn it tomorrow night, because I know a lot of good road course racers weren't here tonight, and I know. Like Comstock, wasn't here, and Justin Fuller, I know he's really good, but he was down the order. So, yeah, well, we got a lot to look forward to tonight, but hopefully we can try to get a win there as well.
We look forward to watching you, and we congratulate you on your win tonight. Who do you want to thank for putting you here?
Yes, got to thank First Rate Bay Lobs 207 for all they do for support. Also got to thank Cameron Colby and for painting my beautiful car. Go check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook for all custom paints. Also got to thank Joey and the guys who run the show here at Sim500. Thanks to everyone who comes out and races each and every week. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and thanks to everyone who watched the race. Probably was pretty dull, but hey, it was always fun from the driver's seat.
There you have it. Daniel Falkingham, dominant winner here tonight at Watkins Glen, and hopefully the same coming tomorrow. Good luck, Daniel.
Thanks, Ben.
There you have it, Mitch. Just not a lot to talk about. This race was pretty uneventful. We didn't have any big crashes. We had a couple of small moments here and there, but this race was, flag to flag, pretty calm, man. just Falkingham stunk up the field, but that you get that sometimes. And boy, just got to applaud him though tonight with that performance.
Definitely got to applaud him and give him a lot of credit. A lot of the times that gets kind of overlooked, it's like, oh, that guy kind of dominated, kind of boring. But, for someone to go out and do something like that is just so impressive. And you definitely got to look at that and just think, just what a drive by that guy, and what a job for him to be able to finish 21 seconds ahead of anyone else out there on the track today.
That it was. So we congratulate Daniel Falkingham and the rest of the podium finishers, and great run for Justin Fuller, coming up from 12th to 4th. A good run there for the 51. Again, to the Trans Service Cup Series live tomorrow night on the OSRN. So be sure to tune in there and watch some great Cup action right here from Watkins Glen International. But for tonight and for Mitch Rollo, I am Ben Kilcrease. Remember, when you're out there on the roads, to put that phone down. We'll see you next time. Good night from New York.